Hi, and welcome to Cooking with Fatscraps. I'm an OK cook sharing tasty recipes. Well, it's another Comfort Food Friday, and this is a request actually from my sister out in Montana. So thank you, sis. And what this is really easy. It's just basically hamburger gravy and mashed potatoes, and she also put in green beans. I don't care for green beans, so I'm just going to donate this to my food pantry. Anyway, all you need for this is really simple. You need some ground beef, of course, some chopped onion, some salt and pepper, some milk, and some flour. I've already got my potatoes boiling over there so I can mash them. So let's get started. My pan has been heating and it should be hot enough now. I'm going to add a little bit of oil. Nice. And then I'm going to add my onion. So this recipe doesn't really have any amounts, okay? It's onion and hamburger. And when it comes time to make the gravy, I'll try to explain that to you if you never made gravy. It's really easy, but there aren't really any measurements like a fourth a cup of this or half a cup of that. So my onions are sauteing very nicely, and now we'll just add our ground beef. And then we'll let this brown, and then we'll come right back. All right, our hamburger is browned, our onions are nice and soft, and I want to just thank you for spending time with me. Here's to your health. Prost. All right, one thing I want to say to make sure that this is really comfort food for you, please don't serve this on rice. That is really icky. It has to be mashed potatoes, okay? Now, this is the hard part that I can't really explain to you, but you just need to kind of watch and you can experiment with this, and this is how it goes. You want to keep the grease in here because it's the grease and the flour that help make the gravy. So I'm just going to sprinkle, I don't know what that even is, maybe a fourth a cup, a third a cup, okay? And then what the flour does is that it absorbs the fat, okay? And I'm sure there's some technical term for that, but it's just the flour absorbs the fat, okay? And you probably can't see this, but you can see how it is all thickened up in here, okay? All right, so we got that. Then you're gonna add milk. And the difference is a lot of gravies just call for broth or water, but it's the milk that makes this milk gravy, and it's one of our favorites. So I would say add about a cup, okay? Or whatever, okay? And let's turn our heat up a little bit. And as this milk starts heating up and starts boiling, it will be thickened by the flour, okay? So let's stir this a little bit and see what happens. All right, it's nice and thick and bubbly. I'm going to turn my heat down just a little bit. Now, what makes this gravy is that now you need to thin this out a little bit so that it flows very nicely over your mashed potatoes. Okay? Now, you can just use regular water, but what's really great is the mashed potatoes that you made, the potatoes you made. Before you make the mashed potatoes and before you drain the potatoes, just take that and use that potato water to help thin down your gravy because it has flavor in it. And I put salt in my water when I cook my potatoes, and so it's salty already. So then make sure you taste this, that it has enough salt for you before you salt it, okay? So again, making gravy, you just wait till it's all heated up and then see how thick it is, and you can continue to thin it with as much water as you want. But because you use milk, you get this nice white milk gravy. So let's add some salt and pepper to taste. And I said taste it, let me get a spoon. You should always taste your food anyway to help get the right flavor that you would like, because you don't want to put out anything that is too salty or doesn't have enough flavor to it. So let's taste this. Okay, I have to add more salt. And then I also have to take about 3 or 4 more high cholesterol pills later today, okay? Because we're family, I'm just using the same spoon. If you're cooking for guests, make sure you use a clean spoon, okay? All right, let's taste this. All right, so I'm just gonna let this simmer, and I'm gonna go mash my potatoes, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we're ready. Oh, this is nice and thick, but not too thick, so it's runny enough to go over my mashed potatoes. And I have my mashed potatoes here. I always make extra mashed potatoes because then I can take the potatoes and make like a hamburger patty, fry it in butter, and then serve an egg on top of it, and that's an excellent breakfast. And if you don't feel like mashing your potatoes, but just boil potatoes, that works great too. And you just your leftover potatoes, those you can fry in butter and have an egg on top of it, and your family will just think you're the greatest. All right, here we go. Here's Comfort Food Friday. Thank you to my sister. I have my mashed potatoes and my hamburger gravy, no icky green beans. And that is tasty. Thank you for spending the time with me. Please like and subscribe.